Hey guys, I'm Paul the Motor Guy. Now in this video, I'm going to give you an advanced swerving exercise where you have to brake to take off speed before you execute your swerve. So hang tight. Now, if you're a new rider or a rider that hasn't practiced swerving much, I first recommend you getting comfortable with the basic swerve. So here are the scenarios. You're riding down the road when suddenly an object falls out the back of a pickup into your lane of travel. Or you're riding down the road when a vehicle starts to pull out but sees you and then stops partially in your lane. Now the only way to avoid these two hazards is to swerve around them. But because of the speed you're going, the only way you can successfully swerve is to first take off speed before executing your swerve. Now I do want to go over 4 basic tips when it comes to the swerve. Now tip number 1 is a swerve is 2 consecutive counter steers. One to avoid the hazard and then one to regain directional control. So you have to push right to go right and then push left to go left. Now the faster you're going to have to push more to get the motorcycle to change direction. So again, you will push in the direction to avoid the hazard and then push in the opposite direction to recover and straighten, which looks like this. So swerving right, swerving left, now tip number 2 is you want to keep your body upright when swerving. This allows the motorcycle to respond quicker for a faster change of direction. You don't want to lean with the motorcycle when you're swerving. Now tip number 3 is you want to separate any braking from swerving. Now this is going to be very important when you're doing this exercise. If you use brakes during the swerve, you risk the chance of losing traction. So when you practice this exercise, you need to get all your braking done before you start your swerve. I am also not going to put in the clutch or downshift. That is too much to do under stress in the short amount of time you have to execute your swerve. Now tip number 4 is you don't want to stare at the hazard that you're trying to avoid. This is a classic target fixation. You know the hazard's there, so there's no need to stare at it. You want to look away from the hazard towards your escape path, then look downrange where you want the motorcycle to go. Now before I ride this, I want to go over a pattern I'll be using. I will have 2 cue cones that are 5 feet apart. Also, I have a row of cones that are 8 feet wide, which represents a hazard. And 2 8-foot lanes for my escape path. One on the right and one on the left. Now the distance between the cue cones and the hazard is 20 feet. I'm going to start out riding towards the hazard at around 30 miles per hour. Now before I reach the cue cones, I will use both front and rear brakes to reduce my speed to a safe speed that will allow me to swerve and avoid the hazard. Now I want my speed under control before I reach those cue cones. Once I reach the cue cones, there will be no more braking, and I will maintain my speed and initiate my swerve. Now you can do this at whatever speed you feel comfortable. The point of this exercise is to practice taking off speed if needed before swerving, which is something they really don't think about or practice. Now I'm a big believer on rehearsing situations that I don't encounter every day. If the first time you need this is on game day, meaning when you're on the road and it counts, and you haven't put in the time rehearsing it, it may not work out. Now, let's go outside and I'll walk you through this exercise, and then I'll ride it for you. So I'm coming down again, 30 miles an hour. By the time I get here, my speed is good. After using both front and rear brakes, my speed under control. I'm gonna look to the far side of my escape path, and then I'm gonna look out and ride through my escape lane, okay? Same thing on the other side. I'm gonna do both sides for you. Same technique on the other side. All right, so now I'm gonna gear up and I'm gonna ride this thing for you. 30 miles an hour. Get the speed up where I want it. Make my swerve. 30 miles an hour. My braking, brake, off my brake, then my swerve. Now I hope this video helps you add another component to put in your tool belt when it comes to swerving. Now, until next time, you got it. Practice, 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 and ride safe.